We're good? Ready? Yep.
Mark. All for adjournment?
No.
Yeah. Erica seconded it. All in favor?
Don't speak for me. I speak for myself. Thank you very much.
Notice this meeting is being held in accordance with the public laws of 1975, Chapter 231. An adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a notice sent to the Star-Ledger, the local source, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the township website. May I ask Union County Vice Commander David Penna from American Legion Post 228 to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, would everybody please remain standing for a moment of silence for our service members serving abroad and near. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Kaiser.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Weber.
Here.
Committeeman Capides.
Here.
Committeewoman DuBois. Here. Committeeman Huber.
Hey.
Okay, we have a quorum. And we will move on to proclamations and announcements. We'll start on a sad note. Unfortunately, two sad notes. The township extends its condolences to the family of William Lividow. He was age 101 years old, who passed away on October 6th. Bill had served for several years on our environmental commission in town. He was an active member of the Springfield Senior Citizens Club, and we recently, I remember a year ago, honored him for his 100th birthday. So he lived a very long and fulfilling life, and I know his family was sad, so we will send our condolences. And we also extend our condolences to the family of Cecilia Cooner, age 100 years old, who passed away on October 12th. Cecilia worked as an administrative clerk in our Office of Emergency Management for over 25 years, and she retired from the township in 2013. So our sincere thoughts and prayers are with both of their families during this sad time. On to leaf pickup. Leaf pickup starts Monday, October 31st. Residents on township roads may start placing the leaves in the street now. No branches will be picked up. Please make sure to not place leaves closer than 10 feet from any storm drain or catch basin. Collection ends December 31st. Make sure that does, because if so, the leaves float down right in there and clog it and cause flooding issues. So please be aware of that and help us out with that. We will be meeting next week for a workshop meeting. It will be our final workshop meeting of the year, and that will be on Wednesday, November 2nd at 7 p.m. in Town Hall. Workshop meetings are a little less formal than the Township Committee and offers residents and the Township Committee a chance to question our department heads and senior officials. So come on down if you have a question. Election Day is coming up 2 weeks from today, I believe. It's Tuesday, November 8th, and the polls are open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. There's a vote-by-mail drop box behind Chisholm Community Center, which, of course, is emptied twice a day by a bipartisan team. So if you still have your ballot and you received it, make sure you return that soon, and make sure your vote is cast. And if you're not voting by mail, vote in person that day. It's important. Programming note, our next regular meeting of the Township Committee is on Wednesday, November 9th at 7 p.m., normally Tuesday, but the Tuesday, November 8th is Election Day, so we will meet on the 9th. There's a Veterans Day ceremony on Friday, November 11th at 11 a.m. at Veterans Park. I hope everybody in town can join us in honoring our servicemen and servicewomen. I've also instructed our administration to apply and try to see if we can become recognized. The state of New Jersey has a We Value Our Veterans program. And there's a criteria out there to meet it and to be recognized as a veteran-friendly town. So I know our administration and in working in accordance with us to do some more ceremonies and programming for our veterans so our community can be recognized for that distinction. But make sure you come out for Veterans Day and help us get there. Springfield Recreation Department's Halloween Spooktacular is Sunday, October 30th, outside of Chisholm. If it rains, it'll also be inside. It's from 1 to 2:30. It's free. There's a costume contest. There's a donut truck magician, a photo ring, a red ribbon week giveaways. There's DJ, there's prizes, and there's more. We'll, of course, thank the sponsors of Keller Williams Midtown Direct Realty, Cardinal Land Properties, State Farm, Mike Scalera, and Springfield Patriot Chamber of Commerce. Please pre-register on the community pass on our website and come on out for Halloween Spooktacular. It's usually a lot of fun. Make sure you save the date. We have a tree lighting on Wednesday, November 30th, 2022. The rain snow date, of course, is Thursday, December 1st. That was where I noticed the mistake. I can't believe it is already Christmas time. But come on out. It'll be fun. And now, proclamation. I'm going to switch this up. I'm making the Girl Scout wait just a few more moments, and I will actually read the proclamation for Hindu Heritage Month first. So everybody knows we celebrated Diwali, I believe, last night, and a resident brought to our attention that a neighboring town in Livingston declares October Hindu Heritage Month. So, whereas Hinduism is the third largest religion in the world, with millions of followers in the United States, including many in Springfield, and whereas the Hindu heritage, culture, traditions, and values provide invaluable solutions to many of life's problems and often serve as a source of inspiration, reflection, and contemplation for millions of individuals who look to the teachings of Hinduism for guidance, and whereas Hinduism demonstrates through a living enlightened civilization that a global peace is achievable and sustainable, and this begins with individual peace and spiritual awakening. And whereas each year during the month of October, the Hindu community of Springfield and across our great nation will collectively celebrate in heritage by focusing on its culture and diverse spiritual traditions rooted in India, and whereas the Hindu community of Springfield comes together to honor their shared heritage and spiritual traditions, and we recognize the many contributions the community has made to our beloved state. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Alexander Kaiser, Mayor of the Township of Springfield, County of Union, State of New Jersey, on behalf of the Township Committee, do hereby resolve and proclaim the month of October as Hindu Heritage Month, and urge all citizens of the Township of Springfield to take and recognize this event and participate fittingly in its observances. So it's a distinct honor to declare it Hindu Heritage Month. And now, we have a proclamation for a gold award presented to Girl Scout Jessica Hecking. So, Jessica, I will read your proclamation, and then we can take a photo, and if you want to say anything, you're more than welcome. All right. This proclamation will be presented to Jessica Hecking, a Girl Scout. Whereas Girl Scout Jessica Hecking of Springfield, New Jersey, is being recognized by the Girl Scouts of New Jersey for successfully completing all requirements for the Scouting's highest rank, the Gold Award. And whereas we are gathered here on this occasion as friends, family, and neighbors of Jessica to support her on her attainment of the Gold Award and recognize the faithful and steady path taken within the Scouting organization. And whereas we commend Jessica on her Gold Award project, creating Teen Phoenix, where she combined her passion for horses with a desire to help teenage girls manage mental health issues after struggling with her own mental health and found comfort in horses. And whereas, with Jessica partnering with the Unbridled Heroes Project, providing the venue and therapists, Team Phoenix uses rescue horses in a series of therapeutic sessions designed to provide teenage girls with coping skills when faced with anxiety or depression. And whereas Jessica has been a member of the Springfield Girl Scouts since she was in kindergarten and considered a change maker as she earned her bronze, silver, and now gold award through her Girl Scout journey. Now therefore, I, Alexander Kaiser, Mayor of the Township of Springfield, on behalf of the Township Committee, do hereby recognize and congratulate Jessica Hecking for this outstanding accomplishment and extend to her our sincere appreciation for all her dedicated work and wish her all the best in her future endeavors. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
This will be Snapchat official when you get done taking a picture with Alex.
Youngest mayor in the state. There you go.
He's like, oh, pictures. Yeah.
I'll just bring more pictures than anybody else. He is a mayor.
Jessica, congratulations. Your project is amazing. Mental health, especially youth mental health, is such a passion of mine, and hearing about your project, it's just phenomenal that you share your story and that you're doing such great work for people. I work with young people every day that are struggling with anxiety, and any outlet for that, any positive outlet is a win in my book. And first of all, making it to the stage you've made it in Girl Scouts, I know is insanely awesome, because it's a lot of commitment over a long time. So congratulations, and you just really represent Springfield well. And thank you to your family, and to your leaders, and to everybody that stood by you on this. And congratulations, it's awesome. Good job.
Most of us have daughters up here, and this is a different time with social media and constant exposure to everything that either is good or bad. My daughter's 15.
Mine's 17 and 10.
Chris's is 15, I think. 16. From parents, thank you for that. Thank you for helping others your age, because no one else is going to do it. No one does. And you stepping forward will show others that they can step forward, and then at that point, hopefully they'll follow you, and everybody will follow your example. Thank you.
Yes, and I just want to briefly echo my colleague's statements up here. Obviously, having a daughter myself that was involved in the Girl Scouts, I have a little glimpse of the requirements and the diligence that you needed to do in order to get this achievement. And as also for someone who works with young people every day, safety, health, and wellness is so important right now after what we've gone through. And for you to pick an outlet that I, quite frankly, could never have thought of to help young people get through whatever there's going on in their lives is something so special and something so smart. And be proud of this moment. I know your parents are, I know your family is, and job well done. Thank you.
Congratulations. I just want to say congratulations. I've been involved with Boy Scouts and things like that. Congratulations. Very proud.
You made your family proud, and you made us proud, so congratulations.
Now, if you want to leave, we understand.
No, I thought she had to stay. That was part of the deal. No? Oh.
Unless you want to hear about waste management,
I don't want to bore
We don't give out merit badges. No,
So
no
excited.
merit badge if you stay.
business insurance registry, we got a lot of exciting stuff
Ever
happening.
watch Parks and Rec? It's nothing like that. It's not that much. See, there you go.
All right, next up. It's time for
Thank
preview.
you.
You're welcome.
Congrats again. We need more of you in the world.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, presentation. Paul, please step on up. It's time for a presentation from the Summit Area YMCA regarding Springfield Community Pass. I promise you, I will not grill you that bad. But you are, it's not a congressional hearing, but we can get rough.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Good to see you all again.
Thank you for coming back.
Hey, we had a pretty good summer. I appreciate the opportunity. As you know, almost a year ago, we formally signed a contract for 3 years, which really stabilizes our planning and our plans for the future to only make this pool and the facility better for all the residents of Springfield. Huge thanks to John and to Adam from the rec department. We couldn't certainly do it without them. I want to give you a brief update and kind of give you a little glimpse of where we're going in the future here. So we had an additional 95 pool members this year in 2022, mainly in the senior categories. So that's 688 pool memberships versus 594 last year. That's not total people, that's just memberships. So at least about half of those are families. So as you know, it was a dry and hot summer through a majority of the summer. That meant a lot of busy weekends, which was great to see. We did run our camp program, which also grew with 175 more campers. We grew the swim team, an additional 20 swimmers from 2021. And by the way, the 688 pool memberships, 89% of them are from Springfield. So it's 11% of non-Springfield residents. I do not have a breakdown of what towns they're coming from. And our swim lesson doubled in size from 2021, which I think is a terrific sign. I may have mentioned last year that we were all concerned due to what happened in 20 and even in 21 with kids not getting out and safely learning how to swim and understanding the safety around water. So we want to continue to do that. We continue to offer scholarships and financial assistance. We do have a second grade learn to swim program that is free for all second graders in the community to come and learn how to swim if they can't pay for it. So we want to continue to promote that. Our goal is pretty simple. I think everybody here on this council agrees. We want to make sure that we don't have any unfortunate deaths of kids drowning, period. Not at our pool necessarily, any pool in Springfield or the state for that matter. Last year we had some facility concerns, mainly the resurfacing of the pool was badly needed. That was done. And that really paid off because that was probably 90% of our complaints last year was the rough surface of the pool. No complaints, no cup feet, no, quite frankly, we had no major accidents to report to you, which is just wonderful. And always knock on wood, but I give a hand to our staff. By the way, we survived. I'm not quite sure how, but when it comes to aquatic safety, with any pool, we don't take shortcuts. So if we don't have enough staff, we just don't open the pool. The leading cause of us closing the pool, anybody want to guess? There's a geese. Geese. And so we're talking with John and the team about trying to figure out how we can keep those geese off the grounds. Yeah, kind of early Saturday or Sunday morning before we open the pool, the geese are there. And unfortunately, they get water too.
But do they have memberships is the question.
Yeah. So that just required chalking the pool and making sure the pool was safe and everything. This year, I mean, majority of the things we've met with the team, we're going to be able to resolve with the township capital-wise. As you know, it was also a year ago, we dealt with the flooding issue for the storm, and that's all been rectified. We do still have a water leak that we're working on trying to rectify, so I think we'll get to the bottom of that. That certainly cost us a good amount of money, as we had a mysterious underground water leak that multiple contractors were unable to find, but we think we got to the bottom of it, hopefully. in this off-season, we will correct that. Meanwhile, we are also trying to leverage the whole facility and complex year-round in an attempt to draw more Springfield residents. We've been talking to Adam about different programs we can run that don't compete with the recreation department, more community events, get more people there. I can tell you, from my point of view, as somebody who runs a YMCA that serves 7 communities, including Springfield, every time we bring somebody in from out of town, their eyes just gaze over. They're amazed. It's really a secret jewel to people outside Springfield. And I don't know, you tell me, it may be a secret jewel to the people in Springfield, but I highly encourage people to go there. And once you step inside those gates, I don't think people truly realize the number of amenities and the size and scope of that pool, and what they can do with their families, et cetera. And we're trying to stretch that out to not just a May to Labor Day activity, trying to use the grounds more year-round. So more on that to come. So that's it for the report. I'm happy to take any questions or comments.
Thank you, Paul. Just to highlight, so 25 new, what's our max occupancy for the pool? Do you know?
Great question. I think it's 850.
So we're clearly nowhere near there. So we can.
Really nowhere near that. I mean, we got to remember, you have a baby pool too. We had some Saturdays and Sundays, as staff reported, we had a lot of people, but we staff with our lifeguard, and I may be wrong on that number, but I believe it's around that many people. It doesn't mean we won't let 1,000 people in. We just will make sure that,
They can't. Yeah.
not an unsafe number in the water, but there's a ratio that's in place to ensure that each guard only watches X amount of people in the pool at a time.
And then, my questioning and where I'm going. So, we jumped. We added 100 something new, nearly 100 new people, 170 new campers, 20 new first swim team. So, what did we do well to add those people? What do you feel that we did right this year? Or was it just, say, the weather, or was it you guys? And how can we continue to increase
Yeah,
that?
first of all, I think we all can take credit, but reality to me is that we got off on an appropriate start timing-wise, which we didn't years before. Number two, we are still seeing people starting to get more comfortable post-COVID. I hope I can say that. So I do expect that number to increase this summer.
The president says the pandemic's over.
Yes, okay.
So I agree with Joe Biden.
But in May, it wasn't necessarily that. So I think some families are still hesitant, even though it's outside and everything. John and Adam and I had a conversation the other day. I see no reason why we can't start approaching 8, 9, maybe 1,000 memberships on a regular basis. I really don't. And listen, I have an outdoor pool at the Boca. It's your standard, it's an Olympic-sized pool, so the water volume and the baby pool is probably equal to Springfield, but I have a deck that you're going to see at a fancy hotel, and that's it. I would die for 1/5 the amount of green space or play space that Springfield has. So I would never be able to dream of having 1,000 people in a pool. Really, it's, again, we want to sell it to the residents of Springfield that it's not just, we know the real reason. They're going there to use the pool, but you can also play beach volleyball, you can do this game, there's shade, there's this, there's that, there's so many other things, there's great food available. So we want to kind of sell as family entertainment from cradle to grave for all ages.
I heard a lot of positive feedback about the concessions this year over the summer, so that seemed to go well.
Cool. Just continuing, comparatively, where do we stand, like, compared to, you had Berkeley Heights? How's the numbers? Are we not where Berkeley Heights was because you've had it for a number of years, or are we exceeding it?
We haven't had it at Berkeley Heights for a number of years.
Oh.
We're higher.
Okay.
Last year, I told you we were just about higher than Summit. I do not have Summit's numbers. or New Providence. But they have different structures, so it's a little tricky to measure apples to apples. But as long as we keep going up, I think we'll be fine.
And then maybe lastly, bottom line, with the amount of new memberships and everything, what was your profit this year?
Yeah, so per the contract, we went up 1% to 11% of the net. So we are just finalizing those numbers. I'll have that check over to the township by the end of this month. And we expect $11,000. So, we were about $100,000 net. And again, there were some things that made that challenging. We spent more money than we needed to on water. And as we go forward, we as an association had no choice but to increase the rates that we're paying lifeguards. So I told you we were lucky. We had a good summer. We had staff, but I think you all know the challenges of finding staff, especially high school and college staff. $14 an hour isn't going to cut it.
Yeah,
It's just not going to cut it. And $16, $17 an hour, these kids can have the choice of jobs. So we raised the rates, and that cut into our margin as well. But it's well worth it, especially if we can get those kids to come back for a couple of years.
and we're, the minimum wage is what it is. We're not going to be able to necessarily help with that. But if we are able to help as a township committee, how can we help make this more successful, or what would you ask of us?
Well, again, I can't ask for anything more with the help. I'm just ensuring some of the capital items are taken care of, and that's never been an issue. We haven't had any fights or disagreements about anything. We want it to look as high quality and beautiful as it did on the first day. Other than that, I think our marketing is going fairly well, but I would ask this council to keep on promoting the fact that we at the Summit Area YMCA, we truly look ourselves as a partner with the township. It's your pool. It's not mine. It's not ours. It's your pool. So we want to run it the way that this community can best take advantage of it. So if you could just help promote that, that'd be wonderful.
And
Was there any more use of the green space for any classes or anything this year? I know we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, we did some. We tried some things. We did a senior exercise class, more than a few of those. We bought some senior exercise classes in the water as well. We're getting there, but it's been slow to educate the residents that this is more than just a pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's our biggest challenge is that we have, and we've been talking about this as a committee for a while now. We have this green space. We have a large area that goes well beyond the pool space, and we're trying to figure out ways to best utilize that. And I certainly appreciate what you said. I mean, I remember our conversation. It's finally nice to meet you in person. I know we've had a lot of conversations when you first came on board, and I appreciate your passion. And any ideas, please, that you can extend to us, especially either the green space or to make the pool more attractive, to build our membership up, anything in your experience that you feel could be an asset to us. Like I said, I love the notion of your partnership and your input, and your enthusiasm is contagious. So please, if you have any suggestions on what we can do to attract more members with that green space, please don't hesitate to reach out to Adam or John. And we love working with you.
Yeah, thank you. Again, I think you're right. Wonderful assets. We just need the to be rude or cruel about any animal cruelty, but somehow a better way to keep the geese away.
we're going to get a dog,
Now,
don't
is
you
that-
worry.
Is that an issue in Berkeley, like other places, or are we just inundated with geese more so?
So
And we're not the only ones who want green space.
Yeah.
is there a water alarm or dog? I mean, is there something that
We've discussed some ways of possibly shooing them away humanely, so we're working on that. So we'll.
Scarecrows with Weber's face on them?
Mile?
Yeah, I'll second that.
I'd be scared.
He almost didn't even flinch on
No, I've been through worse for the last month right now, so that doesn't even faze me right now.
It'd be very intimidating.
My question for you, well, no, it's not a question. You answered that with the war on the dog alarm. My appreciation for you is coming up here and telling us how nice the pool is, because I think we have a disconnect with certain times where I guess people have seen the pool for so long, and they want to compare it to other towns or so on, and they, maybe think that we don't have, the best facility. Now, I will tell you, I'm coming in from another town in 2007. This place looks fantastic to me. So what I appreciate is you coming up and throwing the comparative to other towns and telling us how nice our pool actually is.
The slide's been fixed, a new diving board, a new bottom surface. I mean, that's the thing people have to understand. So whatever your memory or someone else's memory may be from 2016, it's not the same pool. And this town
Correct.
is not afraid to put money into it every year, which frankly has to be done, to put some money in to keep the upgrade and keep it looking great. And that's what I appreciate.
And that's why I think the
Not
partnership,
just going to turn their back and walk away from it.
and that's why I think the partnership is working well because of that. The partnership between getting those things done and being able to provide the service to residents, which was the number one goal. And that's why, and pay the bond. So that's why I think the partnership is a good one, and I appreciate your efforts.
The only thing people ask me, the weight room, are we going to try and open it this year? I talked to John about it, over there. You know if we're going to open a weight room this summer?
Yeah, we will lay comments to that, and we want to do something with it. It's too nice to keep closed up. So.
I mean, even if you charge, I'm just saying, like $25 a month while the pool's open, and people can go there during the day till 8 o'clock, was it open 8 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
I mean, this way it covers it. And the only other thing, and I talked with John about this, is we had a full-time woman there taking care of the bathrooms. If something fell on the floor, she was there to pick it up. The only the complaint I got was the bathrooms weren't as clean as they were in recreation land. And I understand. I mean, you can't be, you cleaned them 3 times a day, or...
They do have a planned schedule, and I think Paul should touch on that because it's probably more than most people realize.
Yeah, so what we do is the way we rotate our lifeguards is on the stand, break, and then clean up. So it's,
No,
I think I was told every hour and a half to 2 hours, so that could be up to 6 times a day, 7 times a day. The females are going to the ladies' locker room, vice versa. So, yeah, it's just. I
You're always
know.
going to find somebody to complain about something.
No, it's not a complaint. It's a reality. We all want to have clean places, and we can always do better. So thanks for bringing that up.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Hey, thank you.
Good to see you.
Appreciate the opportunity.
We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
All right. Public comment on agenda items only. This is your moment. If you are in the audience and wishing to address us on any agenda items, please step on up. Or if you are at home, please call us at 973-232-4442. Sir, please state your name and address for the record.
I come to most of the meetings, but apparently I missed the first reading of this ordinance, specifically the business insurance registry ordinance. I'm curious about how the fee came about, because it seems excessive to me. My corporate registration, I only had time on my cell phone today to look briefly the past 20 minutes, but I pay $75 a year to register my corporation with the state of New Jersey, and they ask for my workers' comp insurance information. I have liability insurance. I'm pretty confident that it meets the policy requirements that are in here, but this would be a 30% increase on my liability insurance costs, essentially, just to register it with the town. And I don't know how we get to $200 to register when I can pay $15 to register a burglar alarm.
Mr. Mullock, thank you for your question.
Would you like me to address this, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Do you want, so this is second reading. Do you want to address this during that hearing?
Yeah, you can address now.
Or address it now?
Yeah.
So this is the insurance requirements are statutory. The town has no discretion about that. They can be applied differently depending on different types of businesses. And they also don't go into effect for certain businesses depending on whether they have the insurance in place already or not. So there are some things there that could be, that might be unique to different businesses. The fee, which was calculated with some discussion and input from the administration, is based. This is a new program for the town, and it's a program that is required under state law, and it's required only for the municipalities to not only to codify, but also to enforce. So for those folks. And then, by the way, that also includes the penalty structure, which is in the ordinance, which you may have, I know you didn't comment on that, but you mentioned it. You mentioned the ordinance as a whole. That's also statutory, so those first offender, et cetera, penalties are not within our discretion. The fees are because there is going to be a fairly, I think, active enforcement and follow-up needed with respect to this, and it's going to take time and resources, for the administration to do that. And that includes, not only just getting the word out, but also doing follow-ups for those entities that don't re-up annually. And so it's unlike some types of fees where there isn't necessarily follow-up required by the town. This is going to be one. So that's how the fees were established for this particular requirement.
All right.
It is within the town's discretion to establish what the fee is.
Gotcha. All right. I'll read off the numbers, seeing if anybody in the audience has any other questions on agenda items only. You can step up now. Or if you're at home, I'll give you another second. The number is 973-232-4442. Seeing none, I will close the public comment portion for agenda items only and move on to reports. Mr. Administrator?
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. A few things to touch on. The Hershey building, the construction is now complete. We're down to just continuing to finish the IT hookups, and they should be in there probably next week. So that is done. We met on Duffy's Corner to try to clear up the drainage issue. We also met with the DEP for about an hour discussing what our plan was. Unfortunately, DEP rules are very, very stringent, and almost everything we came up with violated some rule they have. So we do have another meeting scheduled, actually with one of the property owners, to see if we could pick up a small piece of land back in that area to put a retention basin. So I'll keep you guys in the loop. We're going to have to raise the lot, actually. It's too low. So it's going to take some work and some money. But again, our feeling is as the downtown does get redeveloped at some point, that lot's going to become critical to have. Right now, you park there, it's all right as long as we don't have a heavy downpour. The back of that lot floods, and it floods very, very quickly. So it's going to take a combination of probably changing out the pipe that runs underneath, raising a detention basin. There's got to be a bunch of work that needs to be done. So I will keep you up to date as we progress on that, hopefully. I just want to make a point. We should bring this up multiple times. The PGA is having an event next June for the women at Baltusrol. Now, I know that people think, when they had the men's, it was a traffic nightmare. Shunpike was closed. We're trying not to close Shunpike. The women, unfortunately, only get the amount of spectators for the entire event that the men get for one day. So the patrons will not be the same number-wise as the men were. So we're not anticipating as much of an issue as we have at the men's PGA events. So that's not necessarily a good thing, but for the residents, they're not going to be inconvenienced anywhere as close to what it is when the men are there. We did have a long meeting with the Gomes people for our development up the corner on Friday. We are making progress. Some of the items have been cleared up. Some of them we're still waiting for reports and that type of thing. And the stop work order is still in place and will continue to be in place until we get all of that information in and approved. They have supplied some additional drawings, so We're moving in the right direction. The goal is by November 4th, those items that created the stop work order, we're trying to make sure those are cleaned up by November 4th. After November 4th, I will have a schedule for you on construction. We are also going to have a meeting with them once a month in either the annex or on site to go over any work that has been done within that month. Make sure we have all the reports, they all meet all the requirements, so that no one gets behind and they're late with anything. I will, again, keep you up to date as we move forward. We also had a bid opening today for a road improvement program. There were 6 bidders. The low bidder was DLS Construction, which is on tonight. There's a reso on for them. But this is for the following streets. It will include Wilson Road, Short Hills Ave from Park to Morris, Edison Place, High Point Drive, the upper section only, Profit and Rose Ave. And we're looking to do that, hopefully, this may be not until the spring, it's getting kind of late. We're going to see if some of those smaller roads, we may be able to get in this fall. Not sure yet, depends on how the asphalt plants go and how the weather holds up. I want to make one comment on the leaf season that you brought up, Mr. Mayor. If anybody has any questions, please call the DPW Management Office. That's where the accurate information lies. Let's touch on Joanna Way Pumping Station. Our pumping station, we've got a lot of problems with the pumps there, electric. Actually, some of that has to be done manually. When that basin floods, DPW guys have to go over and turn that on so it pumps it out. So we got money. Diane, forget what that was from.
American Recovery Funds,
Okay, so we've got a grant. How much money did we get on that?
1.8 million.
And that has to be used only for drainage, water problems. It's either sewer.
Stormwater, broadband.
Right, it's very narrow what it can be used for. So Johanna Pumping Station qualifies, so we're going to use that money to do this. I think it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to fix that, because if not, we're going to have to eventually come up with that money. And it is, we're probably $800,000 to $1 million to fix that pumping station properly. And it does need to be done. I wanted to touch on Veterans Park. We have a very big brass plaque that was taken down years ago. It's in DPW. It's being cleaned. It's going to be remounted for Veterans Day. I think Robbie had a wall built there that this is going to be mounted on. So hopefully that will be up in time for that. I want to touch on our flow rights. I think, as everybody knows, we did buy some additional flow rights. The year just ended. Our exceedances this year were 13. The first 9 we are not penalized for. So we only had 4 exceedances. And if they charge us for those 4 exceedances, we're looking at about $2,500. Our high several years ago, and I don't remember what year that was exactly, Mike, unless you do, 6 years ago, we paid $395,000.
Wait, say that again?
$395,000 in fines.
2006, Mike, is when it was?
6 years ago. So it was probably 15, 16. Now, that's a combination of, we bought flow rights, we've sealed a bunch of manholes, we're doing the I&I, we've got sections of the town that we've moved these underground sensors to try to find out where we're getting infiltration.
And John, most of the cost of that is coming from our new sewer hookup cost to
The flow right money came strictly from the sewer connection fees.
Yes.
That cost us, taxpayers, nothing.
Right.
We got that strictly from that. And we collected on the sewer connection fees somewhere around $400,000, which previously we would have collected just about zero. So I also want to mention that the tree fund, which we didn't have in the past, year to date, we've taken in about $16,000. Now, I know that's not a ton of money, but when you think about it, all that gets plowed back into trees that we replant back in town. The average tree costs us somewhere around $600, $700. So we can plant a bunch of trees, replace them, that before, was a little bit of a struggle. So again, that was, just a good idea. We put that in place. And again, it gets plowed back into the township. So I think that's a wise move. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else right now to touch on unless somebody has a question. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. Also, on our development up at the Saks property, they are getting ready to pave the streets, the ones that need to be paved and the water is on, so the fire department can get the trucks in there in case we should ever have a fire. They're going to be looking for the COs for the townhouses shortly. So probably before the end of this year, they will start renting some of those townhouses. The apartment building will be next spring. So they're making tremendous progress. If there's any questions or comments or anything,
I do have one.
With Gomes,
I did have.
is there any specified fines that we will give them if they don't meet? And I understand with construction, it has to vary at least 30 days and that, not 2 years, 4 years. But I'd like to see if we could get something.
there are fines that we've already placed upon
I know
them.
that.
And I don't know the number on that, but I will find out going forward if there's anything that they violated that we could fine for, we should fine for.
I want to make sure this, before I go, I want to make sure that that's done.
I have a follow-up to that, and I know that you've mentioned that there are going to be extra stipulations in place that they have to adhere to, including the monthly meetings.
Yes.
If they don't show up to these monthly meetings, or we're not updated applicably, I want to know if that's another finable offense that we can do. And also, my second part is who's showing up to these meetings on their side?
The meetings will be showed up by their construction manager, who's Joe Iorio.
Okay.
He will be there, and that's really the main guy that's on site. That's who we really want there. From our side, it'll be Jerry Iger, our construction official, Denise, our TCO, I forget what her title is, and from the building department, Mike Disco, our engineer, and myself, and if we need to, zoning will also be there. And if they should do something that is a safety issue, again, stop orders will be issued and the project will be shut down until they fix either safety issues, or if there's inspection reports that aren't there, that's up to and including stop work orders.
Right. All right, good.
And I will tell you, they made it very clear, they are not abandoning the site. They are going to get this built. They have enough money. What their one concern was that they ran into is that this building turned out to be much more expensive for them to build and much more difficult, because if you look at it, it's not a square building. They followed the lot line, and the building's actually on an angle. And they said the guy that fabricated the steel had a lot of problems getting it where the corners met and that kind of thing. When they got on site, some of the stuff just didn't work. So, I think they kind of underestimated what they were going to run into. But again, we're meeting once a month, and we will stick to our guns. We're not going to bend the rules. And again, I think everybody understands this up here. This is a private business. The property is owned privately. The developer, we don't have any influence on who they choose. That's done by the owner of the land. The only thing we can do is enforce the uniform construction code and any safety violations or any engineering issues that come up. But we can't tell them they got to go with a different developer or anything like that. It's just not under our purview.
To me, their underestimation of whatever this project is not our problem.
No.
It's theirs.
100%.
And if there are fines and penalties and things that have been instituted that are not followed, they need to be fined. If people don't show up to meetings, or they don't take the meetings seriously, or they don't have all their required documentation or paperwork, they need to be fined. If they're not following the letter of the law to what the stop order entails, they need to continually be fined and continually forced to do what they need to do to get this project done. Their excuses about underestimation or not knowing of these issues, they're not our problem, it's theirs, and we still expect this project to be done. That's
100%. And the stop order will not be lifted until the deficiencies and the safety issues have all been addressed and our side has approved it.
Period, full stop.
I just want to clarify something. Like Chris just said about the fines, this isn't something that's new. They've been getting fined all year at this point. So, there's no chatter about what people are finally doing or anything else. This has been an ongoing problem for a very long time. Our legal team handles it as best as they can within their rights and protecting our rights, and unfortunately, their rights of what they can do, and that's what it is. So thank you for staying on top of it.
And Committeeman Weber, at the end of the day, the goal here is we don't want to fine them, we want to get the project done. That's the bottom line. We want to get it done, and we're trying to encourage them to do what they have to do to get the project done and get it done properly and safely.
And unfortunately, this is not a problem unique to Springfield. This does happen in other places, and it's unfortunate, and seeing it every day drives all of us bonkers, all of us.
It couldn't be in a worse place.
But I find so offensive, as much as this problem has been going on, as much of these issues we've been having with Gomes, we find out now is their excuse that they underestimated or didn't estimate correctly what this problem should, they say this now, after years of driving us crazy and doing all these things and having us as a township go to the places that we are now going to, it takes them now, after all this time, their only excuse after not saying anything is to say we underestimated the project. That's out of bounds.
The problem is now that, and I'm not siding with them, don't think I'm siding with them, is this project started 5-6 years ago. That's when they brought it up to the committees, I do believe. Could be wrong. And they, and the cost of lumber then, and the cost of lumber now has quadrupled. And I don't, it's their problem, not ours.
Rich,
You're right, and I agree with you, John, the other thing I want to ask, are they going to be testing the framing that's up there?
That has to be approved. Our construction official will do that at the proper time.
Because I want to make sure that
100%.
wood is,
I assure you that we treat everybody exactly the same. We have to stick to the rules. So,
we're going to try and cut a corner no matter what.
won't happen.
No pun intended.
Oh, no. I agree with you.
Any further questions for our administrator?
No,
Seeing
I have none.
We'll move on to minutes and reports.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion to adopt the regular and executive meeting minutes of August 23rd, 2022 as emailed.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes carry. New business. We have several second readings, but no first readings this week, so this will take us some time to get through, but we'll do it. Madam Clerk, ordinance 2022-227.
Ordinance 2022-27. This ordinance amends and supplements the curbside collection provisions of Chapter 22 Solid Waste Management of the Township Code.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance 2022-27 as read by Madam Clerk with publication in the local source November 3rd, 2022.
Second. John,
All right.
can you just explain it?
Yep, hold on. We have to open it up to public hearing. Anybody in the audience wishing to address us can step on up, or you can call us at 973-232-4442 if you have any comments on ordinance 2022-27 in that time. Mr. Dowd, would you just care to give a slight overview? I think we've discussed this.
Yeah, this is, you can all probably recall, we've done a few changes to this section of the Township Code over the last couple of years. This is the latest, and this is to kind of expand upon the definition of what is to be considered appropriate bulky waste for collection and what is not.
Very philosophical.
Yeah, and so it kind of it attempts to make clear that construction waste, whether it's from an interior, whether it's from a demo, or from some kind of type of remodeling project or something like that, tried to make it clear, expressly clear, that that is not permitted to be disposed of at the curb.
Good.
And that's based on the experience of the DPW and trying to monitor these types of things, and that's the primary change. A smaller change is to make it clear that rocks of any type are prohibited from being disposed of as part of bulky waste. It used to just be large rocks that were prohibited, but so that's the other minor change.
Okay. I will close the public hearing portion for ordinance 2020-27 and ask for a roll call vote.
Committeewoman Du Bois?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Ordinance 2022-28. This ordinance approves revisions to the 2021 agreement between the member municipalities of the Rollway Valley Sewage Authority.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance 2022-28 as read by Madam Clerk with publication in the local source, November 3rd, 2022.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. We will open this up to public hearing. Anybody in the audience or anybody at home wishing to address ordinance 2022-28 can step on up. The number is 973-232-4442. We discussed this, I believe, at our last 2 meetings ago, but we do have an audience member wishing to address us, so please state your name and address for the record.
Michael Furci, 139 Hillside Avenue. I just want to thank you for this and urge you to approve it. It's needed. The agreement is in, we're trying to make it a living document so we can fix it and make it better as we go along.
Yes.
This is,
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Put a lot of hard work in that. Thank you, Michael.
I don't think that microphone's on.
I don't think it is either.
It is.
It is. Okay, I will, seeing no further comments, I will close the public hearing portion for ordinance 2022-28 and call for a roll call vote.
Committeewoman Du Bois?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2022-29. This ordinance amends the provisions of the Township Code pertaining to family daycare homes.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance 2022-29 as read by Madam Clerk with publication in the local source, November 3rd, 2022.
Second.
Okay, I will open this up to a public hearing. If you're in the audience or if you're at home, you can call us at 973-232-4442 if you wish to address us on ordinance 2022-29. That number? No. I have too many phone numbers in my head.
I just told the mayor, I said that number for a year, and I still can't memorize it. For whatever reason, I still have to look at the paper every time.
But I still know my phone number from when I was 10 years old.
Correct.
In the Union. Both of them, the 2 lines. We were cool when we got the second
Well, I
one.
mean, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Everyone.
Party on.
Little order. Let's close the public hearing portion on ordinance 2022-29, and I will call for a roll call vote.
Committeewoman Du Bois?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Ordinance 2022-30. This ordinance amends Chapter 4, General Licensing of the Township Code to create a business insurance registry in accordance with PL 2022-C9.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion to approve ordinance 2022-30 as read by Madam Clerk.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Publicized.
Oh, publicized in the local source, November 3rd, 2022.
Thank you.
Good catch. We will open this up to public.
Wait, second?
Yeah, I'll second that.
It was seconded by Committeeman Weber, by Deputy Mayor Weber. We'll open this up to a public hearing. If you're in the audience wishing to address us on ordinance 2022-30, or if you're at home, you can call us at 973-232-4442.
Approved 220 Shumpike Road. Again, just my 10 minutes of Googling here. I take no offense to what the state has mandated the town to do. So that's what the mandate is and whatever. But I do still think the fee is excessive. I was only able to find 4 other towns so far in my quick search. But New Providence is charging $25. Flemington's charging $15. Southampton down south in the Pine Barrens is charging $20. The highest I could find was Manalapan at $100. So I still think that's too high. Thank you.
No, appreciate your,
Just on hold and investigate?
I was just about to ask
sorry.
for a tabling.
Me too.
Yeah, I would like to investigate that further after
Thank you.
hearing comments from the public, if we can Potentially table this.
Table, can you check other towns, surrounding towns, and see what they are charging and things like that?
We can certainly do that. It's a pretty new law.
All right.
So that's, I suspect that, and because we looked as well to try and see how this was being implemented statewide. Not too many folks have adopted their ordinances yet, but this has to be implemented fairly soon. I would suggest that
December meeting?
that we make sure we get it in this year.
Yeah.
And it's, as I said initially, it's at the discretion of the township
Okay.
on what fee to charge, and it can be revisited as well.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be,
Okay.
forever.
What do we have to do now?
Can I get a motion to table ordinance 2022-30?
I'll do
Mayor,
one, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, respectfully, since we have a motion to approve it, do we now need to say no in order to table it?
Did we, did we close public hearing yet? So I don't.
Yes.
think
Oh,
We did that yet.
I don't believe we closed public hearing. So I'll close public hearing on ordinance 2022-30. And
Now, a motion to table can be an intervening motion, so
So-
that can be interposed here before you vote on the.
yeah. So can I get a motion to table?
Motion to table?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes carry.
Can I ask a question before we go on to
Yes.
resolutions? And John, this might be for you. And I got asked about it, that's why. A few years ago, we were going to put a daycare center for adults in town at the Lutheran Church. And it fell through and that. Does Union County have one for adults? They talked about picking people up at their houses and taking them there. They were going to have doctors there, nurses there. And remember, Linda? Yeah.
No, well, because the Lutheran
The
church
church.
is gone now. I don't think the Renaissance church is doing it.
No, I don't know. I just, I saw a daycare, and somebody had just asked me this past weekend about it. And I said, gee, I really don't know. All right,
I don't know if Union County offers.
just wanted to know. Thank you.
Okay. We'll move on to resolutions. The following resolutions will be adopted on a consent agenda. As I read through the resolutions, if you wish to have any pulled, please say so. Resolution 2022-258. Resolution 2022-259, I will pull that. Resolution 2022-260. Resolution 2022-261. Resolution 2022-262. Resolution 2022-263. Resolution 2022-264. Resolution 2022-265. Resolution 2022-266. Resolution 2022-267. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolutions 2022-258 through 2022-267.
No, you pulled 259.
Go to 259.
Pulled 259.
I'm sorry.
So 258 and then 260.
2022-260, all the way through 2022-267.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Roll
Oh,
call.
no, roll call.
Deputy Mayor Weber.
Yes.
Committeeman Huber.
Yes.
Committeeman Capides.
Yes.
Committeewoman Du Bois.
Yes.
Mayor Kaiser.
Yes.
Resolution 2022-259. This resolution is to recognize the celebration of the Festival of Diwali on October 24th, 2022.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to adopt Resolution 2022-259 as read by Madam Clerk in honor of Diwali.
Do I have a second? Seconded by Committeeman Huber. Just before we vote, I think it was important, it was brought to our attention by some in our community, and I think it's always good to continue to highlight our diversity, but especially Diwali and the fight of good versus evil. So I think it was important to highlight, and we continue to be a community that is inclusive and recognize that our diversity makes us stronger every single day, and I'm proud of the work that we've done up here to do that. And this is just one small little action that we can take to do that. So, all in favor?
Aye.
The ayes carry. All right, we have moving on to discussion and action items. You take it away, Committeewoman Du Bois.
Oh, man.
I make a motion, although it'll be sad to see her step away, to accept the resignation of Denise DeVone as a member of the Environmental Commission.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I just want to quickly say thank you to Denise for all of the work she's done for so many years, and she's just a tremendous asset to the township, and I know she'll be missed in that position. So thank you, Denise, if you're watching, or if somebody knows Denise, tell her, thank you.
Thank you. Approval of the Rotary Club of Springfield to use Chisholm Community Center for weekly meetings. Hold harmless and certificate of insurance attached.
I second.
Okay, roll call vote.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Committeewoman Du Bois?
Yes.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
I make a motion to approve the Rotary Club of Springfield's use of the Chisholm Community Center for a Rise Against Hunger on Thursday, December 8th, 2022. Hold harmless agreement and certificate of insurance attached.
A second.
And many of us have been there.
A great day for the town.
It's one of the most fun events I think we do.
And we have the young kids even bringing stuff, helping.
Denise leaving.
Every member of my family's been doing it.
Yeah,
So to me, it's a great day.
It's a lot of fun. You kind of get into a competitive spirit and to try to race everybody. So
Yes.
it's a lot of fun.
And whatever you do, keep the mallet for the gong away from my son.
No, but the kids were carrying the bags.
Oh, they loved it.
It was.
Absolutely. My son
And-
was running around all over.
And I forget how many thousands of meals we did in 2 hours or
Yeah.
whatever it was, 3 hours.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. A lot of fun.
Roll.
Roll call.
Committeewoman Du Bois?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
All right. Approve donation of $50 program trip credit from the Springfield Recreation Department to Springfield Senior Citizens Club as a basket prize at their annual holiday luncheon on Thursday, December 15th.
I second.
Okay, Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Committeewoman Du Bois?
Yes.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Kaiser?
Yes. Okay, another one, Deputy Mayor Weber.
Approve request from Temple Shari Shalom to waive all inspection permit fees associated with CCO at 45 South Springfield Avenue, an amount of $250.
I second.
Deputy Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Committeewoman Du Bois?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Mayor Kaiser?
Welcome back, Temple Shari Shalom.
Yes.
It's good to be home. A resounding yes.
And I love seeing the intermingling of two different faiths and sharing of the I think that's nice to see. Because there can always be conflict with people, and it's nice to see things the other way, and I appreciate it, and I like driving past the sign and seeing that Shari's back. Back again.
All right, one more request, guys.
Mr. Weber.
Approve the request from Rabbi Mendy for the use of Veterans Park for lighting of the public menorah for Hanukkah, Sunday, December 18th at 4:30, with the menorah to stay up until December 28th. Rabbi is also requesting use of a bucket lift and the presence of auxiliary police. Hold harmless and certificate of insurance will be provided following approval.
I second.
Do I have a roll call?
Deputy Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Committeewoman Du Bois?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Mayor Kaiser?
Yes. It is time to move on to finance. Deputy Mayor Weber, do I have a motion?
Yeah, make a motion for payroll and invoices for the period of October 12th through October 25th, 2022, in the amount of $994,099.12.
I second.
Deputy Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Committeewoman Du Bois?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Mayor Kaiser?
Yes, and everybody has received and filed accordingly the current budget report as of September 30th, 2022,
Yeah.
the pool budget report as of September 30th, 2022, the current revenue report as of September 30th, 2022, and the pool revenue report as of September 30th, 2022. We have no outside correspondence to the township this past 2 weeks. And with that, we will move on to public comment on any governmental issue.
I'd like to bring up one thing.
Hold on, can you wait until, let's do public comment, and then we'll do comments.
All right.
I have a couple further things to say at the end. So we'll do public comment. If you're in the audience wishing to address us, come on up, or if you're at home and wish to call in, it's 973-232-4442. Just a reminder, you get 5 minutes for public comment. All members of the committee, please hold your responses until after. Please state your name and address for the record.
The solar, community solar project, that goes on top of the storage facility. Is this resolution needed to go above and beyond the small solar and wind ordinance that already exists now?
This is only in support. They still would have to
Yeah.
go, if they exceed anything, they'd still have to go either planning board or board of adjustments.
So is it safe to assume that they're gonna do more than 10 KW, because that's what the small ordinance says?
I have not seen a plan from them at this point. I think they approached the committee about,
Yeah, my general understanding, this is a new request from, I believe it's the Board of Public Utilities, that's looking for communities' buy-in to the project. And is instead, in the past, it used to be just a simple letter from the mayor or the administrator, but now they want a more formal resolution. So I actually think this is one of a few that will be coming before us as part of their applications to the board, which I think opens up relatively soon.
Not that I'm opposed, I mean, I think we should facilitate any initiative in that regard. And regarding the pump at,
Johanna Way.
yeah, I would urge you to grab as much of that money and do as much of that work as possible, because if that pump is not working right, that's 3/4 of your issues, your flooding issues over there, is directly related to that pump.
That's why we're doing it, Michael.
So whatever you can grab and whatever you
No, we've got enough money to complete it.
lift it higher, do a automatic flow, whatever you have to do to get that situated, because it was over a big issue in that section.
We already have an outside engineer who's looked at it, and they're designing all the plans and everything.
The problem is getting the parts in that. That's the problem.
Yeah, who knows?
Do you haven't anticipated how long that takes?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, we just started really the process. This is the first start of it. I got to do an engineering study. There's going to have to be a design plan done. Then we're going to have to go out and find out all the parts and everything, where they are, how long, et cetera.
Everything's back ordered, and it's unbelievable.
I mean, can this be a 2025 kind of thing, or?
I'm hoping within
Hope it's not that long.
Okay.
a year and a half.
Okay. I'll read off the number just one more time. If you're at home and wish to call, it's 973-232-4442. I'll give it a few more seconds, but seeing no one stepping on up, seeing no one calling, I will close the public comment portion of our meeting on governmental issues. Before I say anything, Committeeman Huber, did you have a comment?
Yeah, I got a call last week from Santa, and he's trying to make December 10th, Saturday, to make his rounds with the Grinch, I hope, and of Elf, and the Elf.
Yep, they'll be around.
If it rains that day, then we'll make it the following. We can make it the following week.
Yeah, the elf, I ran into the elf, they were looking forward to it.
You know,
They were shopping for candy canes.
Yes.
Ready to roll.
Somebody will have to drop the mayor off occasionally throughout the day. I think he has several weddings planned for the 10th already.
All right,
So, Deputy Mayor, whoever, you are the limo driver that day.
Yes.
Nothing screams wedding like the Grinch.
Am I shotgun again? Is that it?
You're his assistant.
I'm his assistant. We order the candy.
Let's figure to get.
Let's order the
get that
candy
out
canes
so we
now.
can-
Can we do that?
Last year, it was late. That's all.
Two quick things.
You want to be last, right?
No, I don't. Thank you.
I have a bigger mouth than he does, that's
Oh,
all.
yeah. Go ahead. Do your
This afternoon, we were presented with 2 checks from the county. I took an amazing picture this morning. It's part of the Kids Recreation Trust Fund, and we received our $45,000, and we received our $4,000 for greening Union County. So this money will go towards improving our recreation facilities. So just want to thank once again the county commissioners for this money that helps us accomplish improving our parks. Somewhere there is a video floating around of me thanking them. I don't know if only Adam has that, but that is somewhere. On kind of a serious note, some things in our country we laugh off as the fringe individuals of our society. What has been happening lately with some of the rising of anti-Semitic remarks is not only troubling and I think requires all of us as officials in this country to condemn that hate. And I'm sure it's a small minority. But when you see celebrities that have millions of followers that start to put out hateful remarks, and then on a weekend see individuals go boldly out there and put hate-filled signs on a 405 in LA, we are going down a dangerous road if all in society can condemn that hate and stomp that out. We said never again for a reason, and it's very troubling to see, and I think everybody has seen on social media people standing up for our and standing in solidarity with our Jewish brothers and sisters, and I think it's appropriate up here to say that we are too, and it's certainly troubling. And hate has no home in our town, in our community, but in our country, and that kind of stuff needs to get stomped out immediately. And there is nowhere that we can allow that to take place.
Absolutely, and regardless of who's saying it, it should not be glorified, and
I agree with you.
everything else that you said, but it definitely shouldn't be glorified regardless of who's saying it. It's wrong, and there's no place for it.
Yeah. With that being said, I have no
Before you
further
close,
comment.
Can I make? Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to let you know, Mr. Betcher had a comment on Johanna Pumping Station. The pumps in there actually are 40 years old, so we got our money's worth out of them. So even though this costs us a bunch of money to replace everything, you're looking at something that's lasts a very long time. So not only do we need it, but it's, we should get another, hopefully 40 years out of the next ones.
That's very good news. You are now recognized.
I have to apologize because I know that you mentioned this at the top of the meeting, but I think it bears repeating because this is the last televised and broadcast meeting before Election Day, is I just need to encourage everybody to vote Tuesday, November 8th, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. if you're voting in person. There's an old adage, and I believe it, your voice is your vote. And whatever you feel, however you feel it, the biggest impact you can make is in the voting booth. And with that being said, I just want to say, I just need to speak a second about my 2 colleagues on the end, Committeeman Huber and Committeewoman Du Bois. Committeeman Huber, I've known you probably over for 10 years now. Your work alongside this committee has been outstanding. We have certainly, you and I have certainly disagreed on many, many things, but we still have the same adage about what makes it best for Springfield. And the best thing that I could say about you and the best compliment that I could give someone like you is you started as my colleague and you have become my friend. And I really enjoy the time I get to spend up here with you. Committeewoman Du Bois, I have known you literally all my life.
You mean soccer?
Yes. And that entire time I've known you, your advocacy has always been part of your life. No matter what facet of your life we talk about, I'm envious of your advocacy efforts, and I'm envious of the knowledge and the spirit and the energy you bring up here every meeting. Your spirit and your energy is contagious, and the things that you have brought to this town, the programs that you brought to this town, the initiatives that you brought forth are certainly things that we're all proud of. And I love working with you, and I hope to continue to work with you. And I'm blessed again to call you my friend. I just want to say I appreciate our working relationship that we've had up here for as long as I've been up here, for sure. And I needed to say that before we ended today.
I'm not even going to add it. Perfect. Thank you. I agree with everything you just said.
Vote for adjournment?
Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Do I have a second? Second it. All in favor?
Aye.
No, seeing no nays, the ayes carry. Go in peace.